Hello. Happy Flag Day. Happy Saturday. Happy President Donald Trump birthday. Happy 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army. I think that's where we're at right now. Not happy No King's Day because that is not going well for the libtards who have put this thing together. Let's see if I can get this to work. Let me know you guys can hear me. I want to make sure we're all good before we jump into everything. And I know that it might be a little shaky, wonky, because I do have the car running for AC because it's hot as balls outside and I'm a shiny disco ball. So there's that. All right. Lisa says 5x5. Lisa, you're always here in the beginning. I love it. Thank you. Okay. So I told you guys I was not going to be out and about today because of all of the BS that's going on around the country. And yet here I am. I decided that the area I'm at, it's safe, no worries. Plus, I stay covered in case anything pops off and I need to protect myself. We are good. Just gonna, just saying. Yesterday we tried to do a live stream and I tried to explain to you guys kind of what was going on in my mind with the No King's Day in conjunction with the Israel-Iran stuff, with the military being in DC, all of that, right? And the live stream was completely wonky. It was completely messed up. And I'm sitting here thinking that YouTube is effing things up. And I would like to just go ahead and let you know it was me. I messed up yesterday's live stream because I forgot to turn off the Wi-Fi, which I always turn it off. And yesterday I'm too close to some place where I have connected with Wi-Fi before. And so yesterday it kept trying to connect. So that is completely on me. And I apologize for that. So here's the problem. Are you guys ready for this? Right now, everybody's talking about no kings because there's been a lot of video footage of a lot of different areas. And what's crazy to me is if you look at the video footage from the majority of areas, it's, no offense, old ass white people who don't have anything else to do. Like, it's clearly, the whole thing is like a setup, obviously, and it is designed to overwhelm the senses. That feels like the right way to put it. Overwhelm the senses, because like places like San Diego, you have 80,000 people deep out in the streets protesting, right? And then in Philly, there's a big protest. Chicago, huge, tons of people protesting in Chicago. But then you go into the smaller suburb areas that aren't the big places, and it's old ass white people who have nothing else to do. And I'm thinking maybe they're getting paid. We know people are being bussed into places. We've seen the buses. Panama City had, I think, 3 or 4 buses being brought in from Texas and Tennessee, bringing people to Panama City. If you're a legit protester or a legit no kings, whatever, you don't need to be bussed into a city. You would go to your own city because it was supposed to be 50 protests in 50 places on one day, which is today, because according to the left, Donald Trump, President Trump, is making the Flag Day and 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army all about himself because it's on his birthday and he wanted a show of power. Heaven forbid it's because it's the 250th anniversary of the Army, right? Or heaven forbid it's because it's Flag Day. They want to say it's because it's his birthday and he's trying to have this major show of power. Because they're saying, well, there's nothing scheduled for the Marines. There's nothing scheduled for the Air Force. So why is the Army the only one getting something? And I'm ignorant on this, and I didn't think to look it up. But have the other ones been around for 250 years as well? Because I mean, if it's like year 138, doesn't really seem like the time to have a big ass parade for it. You know what I mean? Plus, anyway, the whole thing is absolutely ridiculous to me. The No Kings thing was all set up by the person who was over the teachers union, I believe it was. I have a bunch of stuff here to show y'all, so I don't mess anything up, which I might have just done because I think it was the teachers union, federal teachers union. Randy, why blah blah blah, whatever the guy's, looks like a guy but it's a girl. Name is. Hold on, I have this working right now. It's trying to load everything. Y'all see how this is. But the protests, what I realized earlier. Listen, you want to know what I realized earlier? That not only are these people showing up to these protests, but a lot of these people registered for these protests. Now think about this. They registered for these protests. So this database has now been collected, think about it, has now been collected of libtards who willingly put their information into the computer to let everybody know that they hate the president, they hate America, they only care about illegal immigrants, and they want to watch this country burn. And then they went and took their butts over to one of the places. There's going to be way more people who show up that didn't register, but for those who do register, you have got to be dumber than a load of bricks to put your information in to that nokings.org bullshit site and then go show up someplace. Because please understand, if there is violence, which they said 4 people were killed in Columbus, I think this morning, we're going to get to Tim Walz and how his person murdered some government officials in Minnesota because, hello, they said that there was, where was the other place? There was another place where I don't think it was a shooting. I don't remember exactly what it was. I've been looking at way too much stuff today. But either way, my computer thingy, iPad is going really slow. Probably because I have 80,000 tabs open. Let's close some of these things real fast. But while all this is happening, they are... All right, let's try to figure out how to explain this. There is stuff going around social media right now about these refineries that happen to now be on fire. One of them in Texas City, Texas. There's this massive Marathon refinery that is suddenly on massive fire earlier today, probably a couple hours ago. And then they're trying to say that a refinery in Iran is also on fire, and that the timings were identical, that this Iran fire at a refinery started at the same time that the one in Texas City, Texas started. So they're trying to make a correlation between the two. But what I've been able to find about the one in Iran is that it doesn't seem to be real. The other thing I want to show you, and X obviously is overloaded with stuff because it's not pulling up shit right now, which is going to make this live stream real interesting. What I find real interesting is because remember yesterday, if you were here when everything was working well, I talked about the fact that the bombing between Iran and Israel, if you were watching the videos and stuff, I said it looks almost fake. It looks almost like it's AI generated. How come there's so many videos of this coming out on social media right now? Way more than we had videos of Ukraine and Russia fighting back and forth, right? And then it comes out today. Finally, about dang time. Come on, do your job over here. It comes out today that the video, I actually think it was Thomas Massey who posted it on X, Rep Thomas Massey, who posted it on X, that the video that has been shown over the last 24 hours of these bombs going back and forth between Iran and Israel is the exact same footage from 8 months ago. So my question, and it was uploaded by the Israeli government. Hold on. If this mofo would work, we could have this conversation because I want to show you. Because yes, the No Kings thing is important because of how many people are out and about protesting and all this other stuff. But if you really think about it, 80,000 people in San Diego ain't shit. You know what I mean? A couple hundred in Denver, that's nothing. It's still just people who are brainwashed, clearly. I'm seeing so many videos of protesters still in the streets and then get upset when they get run over. And my first thought is, how do you not have a single ounce of self-preservation where you're not smart enough to get out from in front of a big rig or a bus or any vehicle in general that is making it like it's going to run you over if your dumbass stands there? I saw this one video, this lady, this bald lady, a big girl, she was leaning into this vehicle like her body weight was going to stop it from going forward. And it's like, you can't really be that stupid. Like, you have to understand that a car is going to run you over. That you sitting there and screaming about things and whatever is not going to keep you from getting run over. You are going to be a speed bump if you don't get out of the way. Some people were talking about, we talked about it here, how thankfully I live in Florida, and our governor, Ron DeSantis, he let it be known that if you are in the street as a protester and the light turns green. Now, when it's red, stand in the street all you want. Nothing they can do about it because I can't run a red light. But if look, posts aren't loading right now. Try again. X is overloaded. This is going to be interesting. What was I saying? Oh, DeSantis, you have people talking about how people in Florida are going to get themselves in trouble because they're going to go out there and just run people over like they can get away with it. And they try to make it sound like Ron DeSantis said that anybody can just hit anybody in the street for shits and giggles. And that's not what he said. What he said specifically is if you are in your vehicle, like I am right now, I'm in my vehicle, hands on the steering wheel, I'm at a light, I'm ready to go, and some libtard runs out in front of my car and starts banging on my car, hitting my window, throwing things at my car, guess what? My personal self-preservation and my personal safety is more important than whatever little bitch ass temper tantrum you're fighting or throwing, and I can run your little ass over if necessary. That's what Governor Ron DeSantis has put into place. And that is something, whether it was in place or not, I would do anyway. Saving myself, keeping myself safe is way more important than anything else that's going on outside of my car. Please understand. And if my child happens to be with me, if I need to 2A a little bit, we're going to 2A a little bit also to keep myself and my child safe, right? I'm pointing here because she always sits right there. Anyway, but people are taking these things out of context, thinking that you can just go plow into a crowd of protesters. No, don't do that. Probably not a good idea. But if you are in your vehicle and a crowd of protesters engulfs your vehicle, you saw what they did in LA. They set police cars on fire. They're jumping up on vehicles in Atlanta. I showed you, and they're stomping out the windshields of police cars and regular citizens' vehicles. That is not going to fly. Please understand, that is not going to fly. I don't care what state you're in. Anybody with an ounce of self-preservation and, brain cells to rub together is not just going to sit there and let these things occur, because what happens when those people that are damaging your vehicle decide to take it one step further when the window breaks or the windshield breaks and then they hurt you? They're not going to get in trouble because they're going to run away. They're masked up. They don't care. They're going in there incognito, right? There was one place in, what city was it, since X done one do his damn job? Some city where the protesters today were showing up to a park because, screw the kids, right? Heaven forbid they get to enjoy a Saturday while the weather's nice. The protesters are showing up to this park and the police are there in like a line, and anybody who's walking in, the police are saying, take your mask off, take your mask off. You're not allowed in if you have a mask on. And it's always been interesting to me that if you believe in what you're doing so much, why are you covering your face? Why are you hiding behind a facial shield of sorts? If you believe that what you're doing is right, and if you have any sort of, the word has gone, any sort of, oh, come on, Michelle. I don't know the word, but if you believe in what you are fighting for, you shouldn't need to hide yourself for it. Like if I'm going to stand up and shout, look, my whole ass face is here in my videos. There's so many content creators out there, especially ones who like to take my videos and make fun of me for being a Trump supporter, that they do it behind a cartoon. They don't put their face out there. If you are too chicken shit to stand behind your beliefs and values and whatever else, then you don't actually have beliefs and values. At least that's how I feel about it. Integrity is a good one. If you feel like you have to hide behind the things that you are saying, it's because either you know you're wrong or you don't actually believe in the things that you're saying. That's just my thought process on that, and got a little woo-saw for a second and get off my high horse there. Okay, so again, while we're talking about things that aren't No Kings related, this is what they're saying. You guys can see this video. They're saying that this fire here in Tehran, which is the Iranian capital, they said that this happened because Israel attacked their oil refinery, which again, so then you look it up and it's saying here that the claim of this is lacking any supporting evidence, because I can't find anything anywhere, but there was a fire in the same refinery in 2016. These are the things that I was telling you before. The downside to social media, the downside to the ability to just upload anything or now AI make anything, is that it's hard to know what is real. It's hard to know what just happened or what's old as crap, what's made up by AI or what did just happen, right? There's a video right now that I saw on X, and it's a line of tanks, right, driving down the road with fighter jets overhead going the same direction, and then 2 rows of military men on each side. And it said, what did it say? The caption was something along the lines of, I love seeing this in Washington, D.C. today. And it's in theory, the account that posted it is a Trump supporting female, right? Her whole page is about Trump and how she loves President Trump and she's MAGA all the way. And she post this video and I'm looking at it going, that's fake as shit. Like, that is 100% AI. Like, why post that saying that you love what you're seeing in Washington, D.C. when it is clearly a fake video? Because what's going to happen, people just do this. They just scroll and they don't pay attention, and they see it and they go, man, that's cool. And then they share it without paying attention, not realizing it's not real. Now, is something like that happening today? Obviously, you have tanks out there. You have the soldiers out there. You will have a flyover. Some dumbass posted on social media earlier, one of the soldiers in a tent, and the guy was talking about where everybody was going to be seated. He said, this is where Vice President J.D. Vance is going to sit. This is where the president will be sitting, and this is whatever. And my brain is going, why are you showing where people will be sitting? Because in the video, you can tell exactly where that tent is based off of all the surrounding areas. There's more than one tent, obviously, but with those kind of videos being put out there, it literally puts a target on the backs of our president and vice president. And for them to be in the same tent at the same time on a day where we clearly have people that are angry and doing crazy, crazy things, Tim Walz and his person who killed some people, it's not a good idea to put that kind of stuff out there. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys my address. I'm not going to sit here and tell you a lot of I tell y'all a lot of personal information, but nothing that would lead you to my house, nothing that would lead you to my mother, nothing that would lead you to any other of my family members. You know what I mean? Like, there's some things that you have to be smart enough to not put out on social media, no matter what. I know this person is really excited because he's part of this big 250th anniversary show. I don't really know what to call it. In DC, he's going to be in the same tent as the president. I'd be excited as shit too. I'd be snapping selfies all day long and taking videos. But you know what I would not do? Put them up on social media before everything happened. Just like when I record videos where you guys can see exactly where I am in the background, I don't put them up until I'm not there anymore. You'll notice when I do a live stream, you don't know what the hell's behind me. You don't know where I'm at. And I do that shit on purpose too, because self-preservation is strong with this one, okay? Anyway, so then let me show you. I'm sorry, I get sidetracked like a whatever. Where is the marathon fire? Oh, no. Okay, here. So Thomas Massey said, IDF, Israel Defense Forces, okay? Look at this picture, and it's going to look weird because backwards, YouTube doing YouTube things. But this is the video, this is a still shot from it, but this is the video that went out a couple, yesterday, actually, showing Iran and Israel fighting back and forth and the shooting off of the bombs and the rockets and the whatever. And the Israel Defense Forces page, whatever, on X, because it has the gray check mark, can y'all see that? Means it is the legit Israel Defense Forces. It's not some fake made up whatever. If it's gray, it's the real one, like the president, the vice president, governors, any of those people. And it says here, Iran launched multiple ballistic missiles, there's the word, toward Israel in the past hours. The IDF cannot and will not allow Iran to attack our civilians, all right? And this was 16 hours ago, so this was yesterday, this was put up, or whenever, the day before. And this is from 8 months ago. If you look, it is the exact same configuration of ballistic missiles. And you can see that is from 8 months ago. It had a lot of views, but from 8 months ago, you see at the bottom there. So the question is, okay, think about this. When you look at this and see the picture and you read the words, Iran launched multiple ballistic missiles toward Israel in the past hours. Here's the thing, and I've told you words matter and the way they are used matters, because technically, even 8 months ago was in the past hours. They didn't put a numeration with it. They didn't say in the past 4 hours, in the past 5 hours. They said in the past hours. And technically 8 months ago was in the past hours. So the Israel Defense Forces page on X didn't lie. But those videos, when I told y'all yesterday, those videos, I was like, I don't know. This feels very interesting because of how quickly these videos are coming out. Do you know why they'd be coming out so quickly? Because them bitches came out 8 months ago. I'm just saying. Makes perfect sense. Anyway, let's continue on, shall we? Okay. Oh, so Sarah Fields over on X posted that some who is a National Guard member was served broken glass in his burger this morning in Dallas-Fort Worth at a McDonald's in Dallas County. I wish you would serve me glass. While I'm, trying not to bleed crazily out of my mouth, I will end you. Just FYI. This is a scene. Wait, don't shut off car. I need the AC. This is a scene right now in DC. This is legit. This is not AI. This is real. These are the men and women of the Army who are about to partake in the parade in DC. And I think that is great. They are excited. You have 250 years worth of different tanks and planes and uniforms and weapons and everything else. It's a walking museum, basically, is how I look at it, like a walking museum. And I am excited to watch the whole thing later on. But first, we're going to do this. Now, the protesters, I want y'all to see this. Look at this. Let's see if I can get this. These protesters in LA, they're walking. Oh, wait, it went far. They're walking over homeless people so that they can yell FDJT. I mean, you can't sit there and walk past drug addicts and homeless people, step over piles of shit on the ground while complaining about the president. You do realize that the reason your area is in the situation it is in is because of the past president and the current governor, and they do have something in common. What could it be? Both Democrats who have left the borders open, who have brought in all of the people and all of the drugs and everything else. So why would you be protesting against somebody who is trying to help you clean up your streets, help you clean up this country because of what, dumpster fire the last administration has turned this place into? Y'all ready to be real, man? Are you ready to be real? This one here, at first I laughed because I thought it was a joke. Because these people are coming out with crowns on, right? So I thought it was a joke. I thought it was supposed to be some sort of, hey, volume, go away. I thought it was supposed to be some sort of haha, whatever. This is from a retirement home, a senior citizen living facility, where they have put no kings signs on these people and have them scooting out to a protest. And they don't even know what the hell they're protesting for. Not that I'm saying old people who live in homes don't have, the mental capacity to know what's going on. But the odds that every single person there understands what they are doing, that they are going out there to protest against the president. They're going out there to protest for illegal immigrants to stay here and take taxpayer money and everything else. Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. It is no kings, save our Constitution. Is absolutely ridiculous to me. Elder abuse is exactly what I think it is. What Debbie says. Elder abuse is exactly what that is, because you it's just, oh my, I don't even listen. There's certain topics where I will lose my ever-loving shit, and it's going to have to do with children and senior citizens. Between the two, I can't. Now, this is the No Kings protest in Philly. Look, they're saying that, I want you to see this, but I'm not, my fat fingers, maybe I can get, look, we're just going to pause it. Go to the beginning, play, pause, play. Well, now we're buffering, pause. You guys can see all that. That's in Philly, right? That's in Philly. My husband and I actually went to Philadelphia for one night. We've been married almost 17 years, so 12 years ago? I don't remember when we did it. We went on this whole road trip between Georgia and Niagara Falls on the East Coast and back, and we went into Philly and we stayed there. And I remember at the time thinking the place was pretty, right? Now, ain't no way in hell you would get me to go to Philly. And I love Chicago, and Chicago is full of just dumbasses. This is San Diego, I was telling you guys about. You see all those people in San Diego? That is the group of people in San Diego. This is Chicago. You guys can see the amount of people in Chicago. And they look like so many. It looks like there are a ton of people out there protesting. But I mean, the streets are only so wide, right? The streets are only so wide. You can only fit so many people on there. And if they all smush together, it's going to make it look like there's a ton of people. But 80,000 in San Diego, when there's however many million that live there, right? And in Chicago, yeah, there's a lot of people there, but there's a really high homeless population and a very high illegal immigrant population in Chicago. So a lot of those people are probably just there because they have nowhere else to go at this point in time, because, they already live on the streets. That's how I feel about that. Then Oh, this is the person. This is the person. Randy Weingarten. Man, my service is shoddy as crap right now, so it's blurry. Meh. But you can still see how retarded this person is. Look, this is the person who was over our education for a while, teachers union stuff. What is this? Like, what is happening? What is happening there? Like, I feel like you can look at people, and I know this is not nice, and, you know, but it is what it is. I feel like you can look at some people and go, they probably sniff their fingers after they wipe their butt. Like, there are certain people, and that is definitely one of them. That person, because I know it's a she, right? Right? I have no idea. This is one of those people where, good luck figuring it out. Unless it gets pantsed, I'm not going to know what's going on there. I have no clue. Oh, but here we are. This is the Texas refinery, the Texas City one, the Marathon Oil Refinery. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but maybe last year or the year before, I think it was last year, we talked about how there was another like this at another marathon. No, it wasn't Marathon. It wasn't Marathon. It was Shell. Son of a bitch. I think it was Shell, but it was in Texas. It was a massive explosion, fire. Houston? We have a problem because I can't remember. I think it was Houston. Way too many things in my head. I think it was Houston that had one last year. And when these kind of things happen, it's a huge deal because you have to ask yourself, did this happen organically, which is the word people like to use right now for these protests? So we're just going to use the word organically. Or did somebody do this on purpose? Like, I'm always curious because, again, the timing of things, the location of things, the impact of all these things, it's very, very interesting to me. Now, let's get to the stuff that people are excited about, which sounds weird when I say it out loud because nobody's excited about murder. But Tim Walz, Tampon Tim, y'all know my hate, because there's no love there. My hate relationship for Tim Walz. We talked about him a lot during the presidential race. Yeah, because he was supposed to be the right hand man for Kamala Harris, because, you know, he's definitely in a closet somewhere. But he was supposed to be the vice president. God, thank you that did not happen. I can only imagine right now what this country would be like with cackling Kamala and Tutti Frutti Tampon Timmy as the helm of this country. But either way, he is still the governor of Minnesota, and one of my favorite people, Marvin, lives in Minnesota. And so every time I talk about Minnesota, I feel bad because Marvin's amazing, right? Marvin, I don't know if he's in here today, but I love Marvin. He's badass. He rides motorcycles while wearing a SquirrelTribe sweatshirt. It is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. Long hair, older, just great. Lives in Minnesota. I'm sure he would leave if he could. But unfortunately, there are plenty of people in Minnesota who like Tim Walz, or else he wouldn't be the governor. He would not have his job if he hadn't been voted in. And the fact that he's still there is absolutely crazy to me. But Tim Walz was part of the No Kings. He was going to have a speaking moment at the No Kings protest today. All right. This is supposed to be at the where is this? At 1 p.m. He's supposed to be, March begins at 12 p.m. because it's all timed, right? March begins at 12 p.m. He was supposed to speak at 1 o'clock at the Minnesota State Capitol. And instead of that, he had to jump on the news this morning to apologize that a man that he had hired, that he personally put into the government pool of Minnesota, had gone out and murdered other government officials this morning, and then, you know, got caught with a manifesto and all this other stuff. It's been a whole thing. So this is what has happened. I want to give you a little bit of information. This man here, they are saying, now let me just real quick. People were talking about, watch there be a false flag situation today. All right. Now, this man here, they are saying, went and murdered, first off, he broke into two homes that are about 8 miles apart, and he shot a husband and wife. The husband's part of the government, and then he shot another husband and wife. The wife is part of the government. The wife, which I've got their names here, there's so much going on, but the wife, or the woman, Melissa Hortman, is the only Democrat. They're both Democrats. Melissa Hortman, and she's a representative, and then Senator John Hoffman. They are both out of Minnesota. They are both Democrats. Melissa Hortman it was the only Democrat to vote to stop, I'm trying to remember everything, to stop illegal immigrants from getting free medical care in Minnesota. Now, this guy here, which is, what's his name? Vance Bolter, he is a huge advocate for illegal immigration. He's got a business now that's out of the Dominican Republic of Congo, or however the crap you say that. They're trying to make it seem like he murdered these people. He went to their homes and knocked on the doors, pretending to be a police officer, which, because of his position previously in Tim Walz's government, he had the ability to the access to the uniforms and everything else that he could then get to make himself presentable to look like law enforcement. He goes to both of their houses, shoots them both, and they're saying that the woman and her husband, I believe, have both died, if I'm remembering correctly. But the guy, Senator John Hoffman, has not died, is what I'm trying to remember if this is correct or not. But this was him. This is from Tim Walz, Governor Tim Walz, to Vance Bolter, or however the crap you say his name, notice of appointment. Because of the special trust and confidence I have in your integrity, judgment, and ability, I have appointed and commissioned you to have and to hold the office of business member, Governor's Workforce Development Board. Now, that was from 2019 to 2023. After 2023, he was no longer part of this position, right? But they're saying that that he was mad about everything that's going on, and he went to these two houses. They're saying that they found a what's it called again? I had the word and I lost it. The thingy, the freaking A. Starts with an M. No. Yeah, it does. I can't think of what it is. No, I don't know what the word is. And he had this other stuff in his car with a list of a ton of different people that he was going to go shoot. Vance Luther Bolter, the alleged suspect in the shooting of two Minnesota Democratic state lawmakers and their spouses, was CEO of a U.S. government subsidized private protection agency known as Red Lions Group. Red Lions Group received over $20,000 in small business loans under the SBA program. Bolter is listed as the CEO of Red Lions Group, which was active in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I don't know what crap I said. He is highlighted on the Minnesota African Union website. The Minnesota African Union website states that it is a statewide umbrella organization that is focused on the well-being of the immigrant community. Former Minnesota State House Leader Melissa Hortman, a Democrat, was shot and killed in a politically motivated shooting that took place after she was the lone Democratic House lawmaker to vote against illegal aliens receiving health care funding. Bolter was reportedly appointed as a member of the Governor's Workforce Development Council by former Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton, a Democratic Farmer Labor Union member. And then they said they found no King's flyers in his car, right? So what's interesting is they're saying that he did all these things, and manifesto, there we go. Manifesto had a bunch of other names on it, and he left all this stuff in his car and then ran away, like went into hiding. None of it makes sense. So when people were talking earlier about false flag events, when this first happened and the news broke that these two Democrat people had been shot, everybody's going, oh, a Republican has lost their minds, right? Simoline Key, I think I said your name wrong. Thank you so much. I think they were saying Republicans. Okay, because look, I'm trying to keep all this in order, which is almost impossible, as much as I'm trying. They said even Tim Walz was on the list of people to be shot. They sent out an emergency alert in Minnesota when this happened, and it says BKP PD issuing shelter in place in order in 3-mile radius of Edinburgh Golf Course for emergent event. Police are looking for a suspect in multiple targeted shootings who is armed and dangerous. Suspect is white male, brown hair, wearing black body armor over blue shirt and blue pants, and may misrepresent himself as law enforcement. Do not approach, call 911. So then they're telling anybody who happens to have any sort of, even like a baby pinky tip or fingertip in the government at all in Minnesota, to not answer their door if somebody shows up pretending to be a cop or claiming to be a cop or anything else like that, right? So that was what was going on first. Then a list of other possible targets, they said, included dozens of other Democrats, including Governor Walz. Look, that would get me in trouble if I said this should have started the list at the alphabetical backwards. But anyway, so now they're saying that Where is this post by frickin' Chuck Schumer? I loathe this man, but he made a post earlier. Come on now. I know you're here. Chuck Schumer. Stupid wrinkly neck dude. The ghastly targeted shootings of Senator Hoffman and Representative Hortman are not just horrific, they're acts of political extremism and an assault on our democracy itself. This is where hate and violent rhetoric lead. We must stand united against political violence in all forms and bring those responsible to swift and full justice. My heart aches for the victims and their families. And you know what Chuck Schumer did? He posted this before they realized it was another Democrat who did the shootings. Between him, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, all them other ones, they posted this up thinking it was going to be a Republican. I was worried it was going to be a Republican. Let me explain why. I was worried that was going to be the false flag event, not a, bombing or any of that kind of stuff. I was thinking it was going to be that they were going to convince somebody or pretend that somebody, what's his name? The one who tried to kill President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, Thomas Michael Crook. Yeah. Okay. They were going to find somebody to, conveniently kill before they could ask him any questions that was the shooter of everything. And then it was going to be a Republican to continue the divide, to make the protest go even more bonkers, violent, whatever. And when it came out that it was a Democrat, I was like, that's interesting because it doesn't surprise me because they seem to have right now the most violent tendencies. If you watch any videos on social media, again, the protesters, they're Democrats. It's not Republicans. It's not even independents. It is Democrats, libtards, self-appointed savers of the Constitution. I don't really see how that computes or goes together. It doesn't really make sense to me, but that's how they claim to be. Let's see. Gunther Eagleman posted, wow, are Democrats now shooting Democrat lawmakers for not voting along party lines? It's one of those things that makes it feel like high school where you can't sit with us, like that kind of thing. Mean Girls, where she wore sweatpants because she couldn't fit anything else because she got fat. And they were like, well, you can't wear sweatpants on Wednesday. You can't sit with us. That's what these Democrats seem like turning on each other if they're not willing to do the things that other Democrats want them to do, right? But wait, there's more. Let me see where it is. Wait. Oh, yeah. Here's the good part. While we're all looking at the No Kings protest, guess what just happened? Israel just officially asked the United States to join in their fight against Iran. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is about to happen? The timing of everything, I told y'all yesterday, the timing of everything is crazy to me with the protests, the violence, the everything else. We're so focused on that we're not seeing the other little things. Joining World War III, not a little thing, please understand, but the little things that are happening under the radar, because a lot of stuff is not going to make it to social media, right? You try to go to it and it says, oh, sorry, X is down. Well, that's when people are trying to put up the stuff about, we're about to be part of World War III, joining Israel. You have to wonder if I don't really know how to explain the way my brain works, but it always feels like everything is working together to get to one outcome, right? Shit show is correct, Sarah. To one outcome. Everything that we're seeing, everything that's going on makes it feel like we are supposed to be as divided as humanly possible, which, last time Trump was in office, it was a race thing. Race was divided like crazy. They're trying to do it again this time. That wasn't working. So then it became Israel, Hamas, Palestine, that kind of division. Then that wasn't really, it was working. They were setting the American flag on fire. They were defacing the statues and the memorials and everything in DC. Then it became, okay, well, how about we pit, remember back during 2022, is the vax versus the unvax, pit them against each other. Now it's the Republicans versus Democrats, even more so than during the entire political, I can never think of the word when I need the word, the entire election process. everything leads up to people either being so bombarded with stuff that they just quit listening, just quit watching, just quit paying attention, or the ones who are still listening and watching and paying attention are the ones who are so invested in it, whether it's for the right cause or not, that they are louder than expected. My husband and I were talking about this morning. He has a YouTube channel. Y'all know this. Sarah always puts it in the description later on or in the comments later on, but he has a YouTube channel and he is completely different than I am in the way we speak to y'all, right? I talk to y'all. I feel like we're just sitting on a couch having a conversation. Just weird that I'm the only one talking, right? But this is how I talk to him. This is how I talk to my kid, my mom. Like we have conversations like this. This is normal, right? But he does the editing. He edits his videos so you guys can see exactly what he's talking about. I just hold up an iPad and show you. I don't edit shit. Like it's weird for me, whatever. But he's very good at that kind of thing and really giving you like the whole cohesive story where I'm all over the damn place because I'm a squirrel, right? I'm up and down, left, right. Sometimes I forget stuff and whatever else. And his is very concise. Well, he told me before, he goes, I like how you just talk to people. And I'm like, because that's easy for me. That's what I would want. I just want people to talk to me. I want you to tell me what is happening. I don't want to constantly be looking at all this negative stuff because that puts you in a very negative mind frame. If you're constantly watching videos of people fighting each other, you're constantly watching videos of ICE and all these other things. Like I watch them so that we can have these conversations, but I try not to put them on you as well because I'm sure you're watching them already, but whatever. But I told him, I said, you know, just talk to them like I do and see what happens. And so he did a video yesterday, I think, where he didn't put any clips in. He was like, you know what? I'm just going to tell you what's going on. I'm not going to put it in your face like that. And it did very well for him, which is really good. And I tried to explain to him that I feel like because of everything that's been going on since President Trump ended up back on the Republican ballot for the presidential race. And since Joe Biden was taken out by the auto pen and Kamala Harris was placed in without any sort of vote whatsoever, yay democracy, right? That everybody slowly is getting news fatigue, right? Like news fatigue, because it does feel like it's not really a ton of news. It's more of a push to anger you and divide you. And I fully understand that a lot of times I come across that way as well, but it's only because I get a little too, I don't think excited's the right word, but maybe invested, a little too invested in everything that's going on when we're talking about it, right? And I told my husband, I'm telling y'all, that people are tired of the negative, right? When it's time for me to, like in the mornings, I don't want to get on my phone first. I want to either read a book or I want to watch something stupid on my iPad, like a comedy or something. I don't want to look at the news first thing. I don't want to look at X first thing because it starts your day off in this like fight or flight kind of feeling because of everything that we're seeing with now, you know, Israel and Iran, with the No Kings, with refineries on fire, with planes crashing, with citric acid. Hello, nitrous. I can't do it. My brain is not braining right now. Nitric acid leaks, all these different things. It starts to get overwhelming and you either forge ahead or you shut down from it. And I think that after today, you're going to have more and more people who are like, oh, I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break from social media. I'm taking a break from the news. I don't want to know what's going on. And they're not going to know that Israel just asked the United States to join World War III. They're not going to know if the president says yes or if the president says no. And then if the president says no, what is Israel going to do to the United States if they don't back them in their fight against Iran? Like it's a whole lot of shit. It's a massive shit show. So that's that. Y'all, that's that. I got nothing else. There's so much going on. I mean, we could literally be here for 2, 3, 7 more hours, but I don't want to. Because even for me, at the end of talking about it, I'm like, ugh, I just need to woosah and go sit in a corner somewhere, right? Like, that's how I feel a lot of the times. And tomorrow's Father's Day. And you're going to have people who are out protesting today against stuff they don't really fully understand because they've been brainwashed and emotionally conned into fighting for something that makes absolutely no damn sense. And then tomorrow's Father's Day, and these same people that are protesting and have a problem with the president are going to have no problem going to a restaurant tomorrow and be served by Republicans who might be your waiter or waitress, might be your cook. You just never know. And, you know, play nice and whatever else. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. That's all. I love y'all. Y'all are the best. Thanks for always letting me have slight mental and emotional breakdowns, but like without the full-on lefty dramas. Like, at least I don't hold on to my steering wheel like that one black chick and scream, like I'm pretending to hold on my steering wheel, where she was screaming, ah, you know, or, I mean, if I cry, it's warranted. It's not because I'm mad that some dude in a skirt with his dick tucked between his butt cheeks isn't allowed in my female locker room. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, that is all. I love y'all. Team Alaska, what's up? I saw you. Hi, Team Alaska. Everybody else, I love y'all. Be safe. Stay out of the dumb zones, wherever they happen to be. And if you're celebrating Father's Day tomorrow, if you are a father, happy Father's Day. If you've lost your father, here's a hug to you, because I know it sucks. Mine's still alive. He just sucks. So, you know, whatever. But we're going to hang out with my husband tomorrow and celebrate him. Hopefully you guys have a fabulous tomorrow. Might see you tomorrow later on in the day. Might not. No promises. But besides that, just, you know, if you're going to watch the news, watch something funny when you're done. That's all I got for you. So goodbye, everybody. Love y'all very much.